Alright guys, so right now I am cooking. I'm putting up my grocery haul sometime this week, but yeah, I'm also transitioning. Oh, these lights ugly. I'm also transitioning to vegetarian, so I'm currently cooking like a vegetable stir fry and some quinoa for meal prep for the first couple of days. But yeah, so I just got finished reading Around the Way Girl by Taraji P. Henson, and y'all, like, if I didn't love Taraji any more than I do now, I love her so much more. It makes no sense how much I love her. She is, by the way she writes, she sounds like the most down-to-earth person you have ever met. Boris Henson is an awesome person. If you don't know who Boris is her father, her late father. And I'm so happy he taught her so much, and that she is who she is today, and she never gave up, and she definitely gives motivation to single mothers like myself. Well, I'm not single anymore, but when I was a single mother, I'm still technically a single mother because I'm not.
Have a good day at school tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Okay. Me?
Did you mute him? You muted him, crazy. Did you eat the ones you already had?
Yes.
You already ate them? Just like, you're not gonna eat me out of peppers, dude.
I'm not gonna eat all the peppers.
You're not gonna eat me out of peppers. That's all I know.
That's yours.
I mean, this is me and Derek's. You're just eating up all the peppers. Which one? Carrot? Alright, dude.
Yay!
Alright. So, as I was saying, I really wish I could have came to you guys and talked to y'all while I was like, oh, I can hear, while I was reading it, but that wasn't necessarily possible. Turn this on. But yeah, so it was a really good read. I really enjoyed it. Taraji talks about her life as she grew up. She talks about the struggles her mom went through, the struggles her dad went through, how they influenced who she is today. She talked about, you know, when she was in her junior year at Howard, she got pregnant, and she talked about domestic abuse. She talked about people just, you know, turning their lives around, making the most of what they have, not necessarily making any excuses for themselves. She talked about so many things, and I really just appreciated all of it. I had some teary-eyed moments when she talked about her father. I had some teary-eyed moments when she talked about the struggles she had with her son. Even though her son is grown now, she does talk about the struggles there. She talks about the struggles of being a black actress in Hollywood, getting paid much less than her white counterparts. She talks about friendship and how important that is. She talks about how close-knit her family is. Like, I am so glad I read that book. It was so good, y'all. I literally just sat and read it in one sitting. It's only 236 pages, so it's not a long and dragging read. She gets to the point. She talks about how she is... This child's looking for me. He found me.
Good cook.
Bye, boy. She talks about how she embodies her characters. She goes from talking about Suge, she talks about Queenie, she talks about Yvette, she talks about all the things that she's done. Super humble, she's constantly grinding. And one fun fact about Taraji, even with the success, she still does garage sales. She's a Coco Chanel collector. Like, yes, and she's just not a Coco Chanel collector because, you know, the name Coco Chanel. No, she's a collector because Coco Chanel came from nothing. So she resonated with her. So she collects things. So she talks about her relationship, her friendship with Regina King, who at the time, she was basically a person that Taraji, one of her closest friends in Hollywood. They were both single mothers. They did a lot what I really wish other single mothers would do. They would communicate, and if one mother couldn't make it, the other mother would pick up the children. And luckily Regina had sisters that helped out. So Taraji went to LA with literally $700 and her baby on her hip, and she found a foundation. She hustled, she did everything she had to do to make sure that her and her son is good. She always had that motto from her childhood, that she wanted to make sure that her child had the same thing she had, meaning they had a house over her head, a car, lights on, gas on, food in their bellies. The luxuries were not something that was a concern, but she wanted to be able to give that. She also touched, which I really appreciate, she also touched the fact about her son in certain public schools that tried to diagnose her child with AAD because he was hyper, because he was a creative, and he didn't necessarily want to sit and be sit in a classroom all day. And I find that real crazy, because it's like, well, public schools are starting to be like that. Like, when I was a child, we was outside, we had recess, we had gym on top of recess, so we were able to get our energy out. So by the time we went back to class, we were all kind of simmered down and we could focus and learn. But kids nowadays, they just have gym, and gym is probably not even that exhausting or whatever the case is, because my son, he does the most still after school. So she says that she made sure that she put her son in schools that fit his learning style, which is something that not everybody has the ability to do, but she was able to do it, and it is definitely inspiring. If you love autobiographies, if you love memoirs and all of that, I suggest you pick up this book. It is definitely a good read. It's probably going to be a good listen. I wonder if the audiobook is her narrating it, because I would love to hear that, like, in her voice. I'm going to have to look into that and find out, because if it's in her voice, I might even buy the audiobook and listen to it again, because it's just awesome. But yeah, guys, if you have not already, subscribe. Please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to be reading this. This is going to be what my next review is going to be on. So if you want to read this book with me, go ahead and read it. It is a person of color, a POC writer. It's Black History Month. You might as well read so lit. But yeah, so yeah, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.